So I'm really thrilled to welcome anGie, who is a Singaporean multidisciplinary artist and Atlantic Fellow for Equity and Brain Health at Trinity College Dublin. Her work spans drawing, installation, performance and video, and explores the human condition and emotional labour through immersive, community-oriented art. Her practice amplifies the voices of those who are often unheard, and today she has planned an incredible participatory session for us. So please welcome anGie.
Hi everyone. Just a little introduction about myself. I have been an artist for 25 years. So for the last 15 years, I've been creating a lot of socially engaged art projects with diverse communities. And for the past 12 years, I've been working a lot with older people. Sometimes as a role of artist, I constantly ask myself this question: what can I do for this world, for the reality that I'm in? So, human connection is very important in my work, and at the same time, I'm always very curious about how people live in different conditions, in different situations. That kind of that motivates me to carry on doing what I'm doing. Basically, I think for 12 years ago, my father had a stroke, and I'm the main caregiver. It's very tough, but then it kind of brought me into the world of the healthcare space. I got to witness how physiotherapy works, how to communicate with a neurosurgeon, occupational therapists, and going into the hospital becomes something like an eye-opening experience for me. Everything fascinates me in the hospital, so that kind of brought me to create a lot of projects that collaborate with healthcare facilities, and also brought me thinking a lot about creating projects that explore the idea within limitation, what can we do? So this project that I'm going to show, just a bit of context. It's very nice that Prof. Richard talks about the reminiscent project, and it was walk me back. I have a project here called Walk With Me. It's also on the idea of walking, because I wanted to create a project that promotes mobility within limitation, and how could we actually transcend a sense of vulnerability into a form of strength, how we are able to promote a sense of independence. So this project was something that the Ministry of Health in Singapore commissioned me to create. It's a pilot project that I work with 15 older people to create their own walking stick. So I have worked with a social initiative that I wanted to specifically use locally grown bamboo in Singapore to create a walking stick, and at the same time, I work with a daycare center. I work with a physiotherapy to come up with movement that in fact encourage and promotes better mobility in terms of the body, different parts of the body. And also I work with a dancer, because eventually, while they make their own stick, it will also becomes a movement ensemble. It becomes a movement piece. And also I work with a graphic designer to create a DIY walking stick kit. So in this video, you will see the process of this project. Yeah.
你们今天用的那个工具，你的沙子 记得放进你的那个袋里面。OK， 换方向 ，start from the side, then you have above up, then it's easier for you to do the concave. So they will have holes because these are from the pellets.
My name is Alan Lim. I'm 82 years old and I live in Marine Parade. I am very happy indeed because I gained something out of it and it has benefited me a lot. Very much younger in fact, very happy. This project has given me some knowledge in carpentry and it does help me a lot in my daily life. It is with me most of the time when I go out and I make use of it. It has assisted me in many ways, in my walking, in my movement, in all my activities. It helped me in a way because things I had never learned before and I come to learn and improve my interest in art.
我是陈金莲，今年75岁。我是觉得我们对艺术是充满了很多彩色啦，还有自然呢，所以我觉得如果我们进去这个艺术世界，我们就会比较开朗啦，比较快乐啦，因为看到这么多彩色。我学到很多东西，我学到木工，我从来没有做过木工的。连我还可以做我自己的拐杖，我是觉得很好玩呐。这个节目又可以认识很多朋友啦，拿着拐杖走啦，也可以拿着拐杖跳舞啦，什么都可以啦。你没有做过的，你也学到。自己本身要比较开朗哦，不要太觉得自己什么都不可以做。要有那个自信去克服每一个障碍，自己成为你要做什么都可以的。
今年72岁，不大敢想，想不到我会做艺术。
我也是，没想到我能够在这么年纪这么大了，还能够接触这个艺术，使我感到非常的开心，也是很惊讶，想不到我都能做到，
帮助比较更加年轻，更加活泼。出去看，头一次我是看那个活动比较很新鲜感，心态也比较年轻啊，开朗。
对，我们都是这样，我们能够接触了很多我们从来没有接触过的东西。其实艺术一向来在我的想象中是很抽象的东西，什么叫艺术我们都不懂。但是接触了这个节目之后呢，这个活动之后呢，我就学了很多东西，也认识了很多。我们的人生观里面的很多东西，
也很满足感啊。以前我们不了解，现在我们有一点了解了。
艺术包括很多的东西，与我同行，就是希望我们所有的乐龄人士都能够跟我们一起的出来，让我们大家都一起的快乐。
我觉得这个概念很好，非常好，对身体，我们的手有伸展到
也可以当作运动。
Walk with me, 与我同行 is a social art project. I'm very fascinated with mobility, especially senior with mobility issues. I felt somehow the limitation in mobility can be enhanced. So the movement of walking intrigues me due to the fact that, it's step by step. That step by step approach is something that I felt can lead to something more meaningful and in a wider context. I wanted to instill confidence and independence with seniors, especially as we are aging, we oftenly need support.
Yeah, so I'm very inspired by the everyday life. And so coincidentally, just now the panel discussion with the people with lived experience, you were actually mentioning about the title of the panel discussion on making the most of every day. So in fact, I am very inspired by the everyday. I think routine is very important. Familiarity is very important, so that you know where to go back to, who to look at. So I guess that's how we also at the same time being here, to be present, to focus, to promote, to be alert is so important in any parts of our life, I feel. So then we don't have to be overthinking too much, and that's a blessing. So I have created a lot of engagement using everyday action, like for sound making purposes. So you'll find material that is found in your home in any way. That could be actually an art material. I wanted to also promote the fact that art is actually a way of life and how it helps us to look at situations in different perspectives is very important. So then we're able to have an open mind. And art for me so far has done that. And I really wanted to share this perception, this vision, and of course, methodology of how I feel it can engage and create a social connection. So today we are going to try something with you, together. So it's actually a very familiar paper. The reason why I choose paper, because at the moment I'm with the Global Brain Health Institute. All my colleagues are mostly scientists and scientific researchers, and they publish a lot of papers. As an artist, I use paper to draw, to make sound, to use it in other purposeful ways. Okay, so, but then again, that is the relation too, right? It's just the way how we look at it. So, I'm going to show me the paper that you have. One piece of paper you have in your hand. Could you just wave it in the air? Very nice. So I'm going to give you some visual cues, okay? You're just going to check out my hands, all right, for the signal in a way. So before, I wanted to also tell you that paper for me is very emotive. Even though it's a non-living material, but because you're holding it, it's breathing. Why? Because as you create action with it, it has quality, it has texture, it has sound. So, whenever you are manipulating the paper itself, that translates, a part of you translates onto the paper. And a part of you, that becomes metaphorical, right? So, when I think about someone writing, I could hear all the small sound, in fact. So I pay a lot of attention to things around me, especially I listen a lot to the sound. Like someone could be very angry, and he could be writing it in a manner that is so aggressive, we could hear the stroke of the pen, right? And that's quite disturbing at times. But that's emotion. If not, we'll be looking at, we'll be like listening to, if you're angry, what's the first thing you'll do to a piece of paper in front of you? If you only have a piece of paper in front of you, what do you do? Exactly. That's the sound of your anger. And that helps to release that part of you, right? So then you are able to not minimize the suppression, which is good for you. So today we are going to express a part of you through the paper. So, but you know, when you are doing it alone and you are doing it with almost 150 people, it's different. Because when you are doing it all together, it becomes an ensemble in a way, alright? Because it's also sound, we are not talking about music. So, every part of us make lots of sound. Internally, externally, surroundingly, it's all about sound. So, first, we're just gonna try a few actions. Then later on, I'm able to kind of conduct in a way, right? So there's a lot of the sense of we'll play with different intensity. So if my hand go up, what does it mean? High meaning loud. So you're going to like really exert a little bit more strength onto that paper. If I go lower, softer, gentle, very good, gentle, yes. If I do that, stop, exactly. So maybe let's try, if I do that, hey? Yeah, shake it. Yes, exactly. Shake it. Very good. If I do that, yes. Very good. Okay, so we're gonna try. So if I do that, gently. Yes. If I do that, carry in a small, very good. If I do that, you're gonna be angry, okay? So shall we try? Okay? Just a small demo exercise, you know. Focus on the paper. You don't have to think about anything else. Just you and the paper. And with me, be very good. So, okay, now I'm going to add laughter as a sound. That was natural, right? But don't worry, I'll try to kind of fuse the natural element in. Okay, one more time, right? The other piece. You have 2 pieces of paper. It doesn't matter how you carry it. Okay? You just have to look at my cue. Right? So if I do this way, what does it mean? Yes, laughter. Yes, exactly. So, wow, a lot of people are very good. They stand by. Exactly.
So, I wanted to add something else, right? One sound that often leave when it's too noisy, you tend to do that. Maybe not in Ireland because people here are very nice. So maybe this sound. Yeah. So it's almost it's a different kind of quality. It's a little bit more of a breath work because you're exhaling. Yeah, without the saliva. Okay, let's try. Yeah, so I'll just incorporate and add it on. All right, just one more time. Yes, I think.
Amazing. Well, that was very different. I'm glad everything was already you've gone through that week. We have time for just that one very quick question. If anyone has one? Okay, if not, I have a question. What kind of things are you working on now?
Okay.
Maybe just one or two, though. I feel like you're working on a lot.
I'm actually working on a project that I'm very interested. It's about recording smell. So basically, I wanted to remember the smell of my late grandmother, for instance, or somebody that is very important to me, and I felt the presence of the person could really trigger the memory and have a sense of silver lining to it. Because when I could smell somebody that I love, it brings me back to a good place. Doesn't matter the smell good or not. Really, it doesn't matter, no? So what is the ingredients of that makes the smell? It's really a lot about the memory and also the belonging of the person. So I'm going to try to work with a perfumery person, expert, and to kind of customize and personalize how to create that individual sense of smell of the person. Therefore, we're able to actually sniff it if we miss them. So this is something that I have in mind. And at the same time, next Monday, there is the opening, an exhibition opening that I work with youth with mental condition from Lindara School. So we are having an exhibition at 12:30, which is the opening. So if you can make it, please come. It's at Unit 18, Trinity. In the community. Yes, there's a flyer at the booth. So if you're interested, please come and support us. It's a project that I work with 40 of them, 40 students who has eating disorder, who also suffering from psychosis. So they are really pretty much in severe trauma. And I did a mixed media drawing and poetry workshop with them, and eventually this becomes an exhibition. So.
Brilliant. Okay.